Hello and welcome to another mystery mold video. I have picked out this one and you're probably wondering for the 24th of December Christmas Eve what's so special about this mold that makes it number 12 on the Pottery Advent Calendar series. Well, you're just gonna have to wait and see. This one is pretty special. I also bring back another mold in this video. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's pour it up and see what's inside. Hello, my name is Shelby and I'm a potter. I found this bulk lot of slip casting molds and one by one I'm pouring them up to reveal whatever is inside and then finish it into an artwork. This is the Mystery Mold series, so let's see what's in today's episode. I feel really sad when there's only one mold to open, but I'm going to treat it as a challenge to attach some other molds to it. One that we've already revealed, hopefully, and we'll figure it out from there. But I just thought, you know, I've been treating you too much. Let's just do one mold this week. This looks homemade. It is very wholly like my homemade ones. The sides don't quite match up, which makes me think it's homemade. Let's open it. Oh, what a delightful little treat. We have a gorgeous mini espresso mug. It is so small, it is so tiny, it is perfect. I want to hang it up on a Christmas tree. I want to use it to drink small amounts of coffee. I love it. So here's the thing about espresso mugs is I don't know much about them. I know a lot about other size and shape mugs and I'm kind of a little bit sad to even think about finding an espresso mug for that video I did where I unveiled a bunch of mug molds. So I'm actually going to do a couple more videos like that mug reaction video because you guys love that so much. So I'm definitely going to do another one. I'm actually thinking I might try and make a mini version of my mush mug with this by putting like 1 or 2 mushrooms on there. I've got a few other little mini things I want to attach to it. I feel like you could go absolutely bananas with all the different types of attachments. I love this shape. I love how symmetrical it is. It is so quaint and beautiful. I love the handle. Like my fingers are quite small, but that is quite a big handle. I think it'll shrink still. And I think it'll be an okay size for holding, especially because it is small. It shouldn't be too much of an issue via weight to actually pinch hold it. I just love the shape. It's going to be stackable. The only thing I'm a bit worried about is fitting it under our coffee machine because a coffee machine prong, you know how it's like kind of like that. I think that this will be probably a bit too narrow, so maybe a cold drip, will that work? I don't know. Now, I usually show you a look at the molds, but this one was actually homemade for sure because it had no inscription or anything on it. And as for these little attachments, they are all from mystery molds I've already done before. So we have the little mushrooms. I'm also doing a little frog one and a little koala from when I did those little Aussie animals like years ago now. So as always, I'm scratching and scoring them on both surfaces and then adding some slip and attaching them. For the little mini mush mug, I didn't want to go all the way around with the mushies just because it is such a small vessel and the mushrooms are quite big on this. So I didn't want to like overwhelm the piece and have it really weighty, but also have nowhere to sort of grab onto it other than just the handle, because with my usual mush mugs, you can sort of grab it around the like neck of the mug if you're not going to use the handle. Whereas this one, because the handle's so small, I just didn't want it to be awkward to hold as well. After they were attached, I added these little ferny details. They're kind of reminiscent of my mushroom fern design, but adding them on like as a 2D illustration behind the mushrooms instead of it all just being a 2D flat design. And then I painted the mushrooms up with their colors. Also made one with the little grumpy frogs and I attached them and then put some flowers in the background, which you'll see in a minute. And I just sort of layered these flowers so it looked like they were resting on a flower wall. And then I did the koala, which looks a little bit like a grumpy little gremlin, which I love, and it's amongst all these gum leaves and flowering gum flowers, which was really, really cute. Now, I will just forward this that with the advent calendar pieces, I wanted them to kind of match everything that was already in them. You might remember those little tiles you got. I wanted to do a similar design on them so that they either ended up matching or having a similar aesthetic to what you've got. So you didn't actually get the ones where I've added the attachments on them, and that's only because these were like a last minute experimentation presentation. Like I was so wrapped with trying to paint them all up that I forgot to do all the attachments, and these actually got fired like literally the week that I sent the advent calendars out. You'll see me painting those in a minute. They're all just random, different, fun designs. I had a lot of fun creating because I did them similar to the tiles but sort of crafted it around this mug shape. Some of them have the design wrapping around the whole mug. Some of them have like a feature design on one side or a feature design on both sides. Now for the advent calendars, I did do two sizes of the advent calendar, a big and a small, and there were small sort of variations of each one. So you got like a small gnome versus a big gnome, and then there was a small tea strainer versus a big tea strainer. And the reason for the small versus big tea strainer is so that the tea strainer actually fits inside your mug that you got in each of the calendars. There were also a few other little variations within it that we sort of just like preferenced like a smaller version for, just so that there was a clear difference. That said, when I found this espresso mug, I absolutely knew this had to be the 12th item, and then the bigger variation of the advent calendar could have the big mug in it. So just like the regular size mug instead of espresso mug. So you get to see me paint some of the bigger mugs as well that match with the smaller espresso size cups. I did actually want to be real with you guys about what is happening in the new year and just sort of my reflections on the year, as this is my last video for the year and it's my last mystery mold, and I have all these feelings and it always gets really emotional at this time of the year. I'm really sentimental. I keep thinking about a couple of things about what's popular to create, what do I want to make in the new year, what you guys want to purchase and own, and it sometimes get a bit over my head sometimes. Like I overthink everything I make and I always have better ideas all the time. I talk about this a lot, but I've noticed a trend in my sales. I always sell out at the moment, but I notice more thinking time, and I take note of that. Like that thinking time is really important to me, and particularly at my last market. The last two markets sort of gave me some guidance of like what to sell. Now I know stuff sells all the time, but mushroom pieces came in hard as a trend, and I had always loved it, and I always talk about that, and I always will love it, but it became a massive trend over COVID. I think the association with more people finding comfort in a homebody life, finding warmth and growth and foraging and all that kind of stuff, and that cottagecore movement, it really just became an obsession everywhere. And with that comes everyone jumping on a bandwagon, which is totally fine. This is how trends work, right? It happens with just about anything through the period of time. And I'm so happy that I have so many mushroom things in my life now, because I could actually never buy them anywhere, but it means an oversaturation of mushrooms. Yes, I'm saying it, an oversaturation. In the new year, I think I'm going to have one more release, maybe a pre-order of my usual mushroom work, and then I will slowly start to move to another subject matter that you guys are loving. Now, I know so many of you guys love mushrooms and stuff, but I just find that if it's taking a little bit longer to sell, I don't want to get to the point where my work is no longer sustainable and I end up having pieces that I can't sell. So that's where I'm at, is that I'm always pivoting and I'm always trying to make sure that the works are interesting and loved and that you guys want to own them. And I just don't ever want to get to a point where I'm making art that doesn't sell and I have to do something with it. And I know you're probably thinking it will sell anyway, it doesn't matter, but I do just want to make sure that it is really sustainable, what I do, and that it's always moving and changing, and so that you guys actually want to own it and love it. Now, I still will make the Arnold's collection, of course, like I said I would, but I just want to see how it goes in terms of creating it for the online shop first after I make my set. There are so many trends and movements that are happening right now, and I do have a lot of insight as to what I want the new year to look like, especially after this year. I have been testing and trialing some different video formats in front of you without you realizing, well, maybe you have realized, but I am also going to be making a little change to the mystery mold series. Now, I know it only just sort of came back and we haven't had that all too many molds yet, but I have noticed a lot of people are now jumping on my series bandwagon and doing their own mystery mold series, not particularly on YouTube, but on other platforms. And for me, this has been a very interesting experience and an emotional one, and I've had to do some reflecting about what I want to get out of my art career and what I want to do with the series itself. So I am so stoked when you guys get inspired, but I have noticed a trend of a lot of people getting inspired who don't choose to follow me, that have blocked me and don't even engage or ignore me and you guys when you tag me in their content. And that just sort of felt a bit disheartening in a way, because I thought I had built a really beautiful, loving community that was really supportive of one another, and to have people literally block me that are doing this series I have created originally for the last 3 years made me reflect about some things. And there's no hate or shade, it's just a reflection on the year that I've had and a surge of these videos in the last 6 months of other people recreating the series. This is really hard to say and articulate. I have just found that mystery molds in particular in the short form content have been really oversaturated, and they are such a huge workload for me to then not even have anyone from my community see them. It's just been really frustrating, and I know that that's the wins and the whirls of social media, but a lot of these people are just opening and revealing the molds and taking all that excitement and joy and then not creating the pieces, and it has just left a bit of a dampener on my spirit with that, alongside them not even engaging with me or acknowledging my existence when they've been so heavily inspired by what I do. And you'll have your own feelings about that, and I know, and I'm not going to get sad in this video, but it just made me actually reflect inward about what I want to do with this channel and what I want to do for myself as an artist. This is absolutely not the end of the mystery molds. Rather, I want to change them in support of my creative vision and fuel my inspiration, and also differentiate myself from all the people that are copying my content. I've been trialing a few video ideas now to see how they would go and how they have been a huge success, and I have decided that I will no longer be opening one mold per video and instead moving to a mystery mold mashup kind of format. It will still be the mystery molds, so that might look like adding 2 molds together like my koala and thimble, pouring multiple molds at one time like my cakes, and finding a way to utilize them together. It might be sculpting with clay, adding a component to the piece like my ducks with flower hats, or even adding some mixed media like my picture frames. These videos all got the biggest, loveliest response from you all, and this was me trialing to see how I could change and evolve my content with a growing demand and love for these videos, but also differentiate myself from those who are taking a very heavy inspiration from what I've done for the past 3 years. And this is all peaceful, by the way. I am fine. I just wanted to put in how I feel, but also explain why it's sort of pivoting, and that might not be a big change for you, but it's just something that will hopefully inspire me for the future. With that said, I am also bringing Smash or Pass back. I've said that a few times, but I also am going to be doing a few bunch molds videos where I reveal the same item in the video. So I did a mug mold video earlier on in the year, and you guys love that. So I'm going to be doing like a platter one and another mug one. I might be able to do a bowl one. So I'm just going to find all the molds that are like that and then reveal them and talk about their pros and cons and how their design looks. Most importantly, I will be coming back to creating, sculpting, and making my own designs again. I miss them so much. These are all my own designs, and I do have copyright over all my artworks on these pieces, but I do miss the prototyping and the discovery and the crafting of my Australian Aussie animal pot collection. So I'll be growing that in 2024, as well as some other pieces that I can't wait to make that I've put off because I've been doing mystery mold content. I can't wait, and I just hope that you'll like what I've got in store for 2024. The mystery molds are definitely staying, but it's just going to be an evolution of them in my content and how they inspire me in my space. So yeah, that's a little reflection. Let's jump back into the actual pieces, and it's time to glaze them all up and pop them all into the kiln. They are going to look so good. I'm so excited to show you the results. It is time to open the kiln up and have a look at the little mini mugs. I'm really excited. I'm hoping they look really small but still really pretty. Oh my gosh, I am so happy with that. I'm so happy. Oh, avocado. We have our little rainbow. We've got our tomatoes, our little radishes, some pears, our cute little daisy, our little wattle, our sun and our moon, our broccoli, some more tomatoes, some little mushies, some strawberries, and then our little bee. Opening up the kiln was such a delight to see all those beautiful illustrations. Here are the bigger curved belly mugs with their matching little espresso mugs, as well as those little attachment mugs. I love how tiny these espressos are. They are the perfect shot glass, but they are also so good for just like a little baby chino and things like that. I just think that they're such a cute shape. I also love that you could plant them up with a little plant or a little vase. They're just so sweet. I love their symmetry and their handle shape. It's just so beautiful. I just love how the mini mush mug turned out. I think my balance of just popping the 2 mushies on there was perfect. It just feels so lovely in my hand. I love the little grumpy frog amongst the flowers. It's just like, I'm existing, but I'm happy in the flowers, but I'm also just existing and I'm allowed to be like this. And then the grumpy little koala is so cute amongst the flowering gums. I also did a really washy coat of the gum leaves because I wanted it to feel like the sun's shining through all the leaves, and they've got that sort of like translucency to them. I hope you love them so much. I also hope that if you got the bigger version of this calendar, that you love your signature curved belly mug. It was such a joy to create this year's advent calendar. I didn't think I would be able to top it, but already I've had so many ideas about what next year's calendar is going to look like. I can't wait to even start it. So I think I might have to start it in the new year just so I can make enough and maybe do pre-orders this time. I am just so stoked, and I love the advent calendar series. It's the second year I've done it, and it's just been such a blast to see you guys open and react to seeing what's inside your pieces. Again, thank you so much for watching my channel, liking, subscribing and enjoying it. It helps me out so much. Your support just means the world to me. I'm so grateful. Have a very Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and I will see you next time.